It's past 8 now. Tyson Fury has apologised after making homophobic, sexist and anti-Semitic comments in a video posted online. It was a 57-minute long rant which, as well as repeating previous sexist and homophobic remarks, went on to claim that Jewish people, quote-unquote, own all the banks, all the papers, all the TV stations. Fury now says, anyone who knows me personally knows that I am in no way a racist or bigot, and I hope the public accept this apology. Jonathan Sakadotti is spokesperson for the campaign against anti-Semitism. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Chris.
Tell me first of all, tell our listeners first of all, what you made of these comments and why they caused so much offence.
These comments are obviously deeply offensive to Jewish people and also to all decent people who are against racism, because they play on centuries-old stereotypes and conspiracy theories about Jewish people that they are controlling other people's media or government and, as he put it, brainwashing people. This is obviously deeply offensive to Jewish people.
He's apologised. He said, I said some things which may have hurt some people, which as a Christian man is not something I would want to do. I apologise to anyone who may have taken offence at any of my comments, though it is not an excuse. Sometimes the heightened media scrutiny has caused me to act out in public. I know more is expected of me as an ambassador of British boxing, and I promise in future to hold myself up to the highest possible standard. What do you think of that?
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I mean, how long ago was it that we were hearing him apologise for his previous ridiculous, offensive statements because he was put under pressure from public opinion? I think really apologies don't count as apologies when they're this half-hearted. What we can see that we have a repeat offender here who's offended Jewish people, gay people, women. He seems to revel in offending people. And this particular so-called apology doesn't even mention anti-Semitism or Jewish people. So it is, in fact, no real apology. And this is totally inadequate. This can't be an end to this matter.
What do you want to happen then?
We would like to see the British Boxing Board of Control actually treat this seriously. Other sports like football have done their best and are continuing to do their best to show and to stamp out anti-Semitism within their ranks. But it seems that boxing isn't taking this quite as seriously. And the British Boxing Board of Control has basically instigated this so-called apology from Tyson Fury, which they think is adequate in order to whitewash his ludicrous, racist, abhorrent remarks.
What would taking it seriously mean, though, in practice?
Well, they have all the options at their disposal. They could use suspension, they could use fining, they could stop him from fighting. They could do any number of things that all sports authorities can do to those involved in their sport in order to show that they take racism seriously. But here, when it's applied to Jewish people, all they've done is suggest that because he comes from a minority background himself, they say he's from traveller stock, that he can't possibly be racist. But being from a minority background does not inoculate one against being racist, as we can see here. In fact, just after he posted this video with this disgusting statement about Jewish people, and he was caught out and called out in the press, he then went on to Twitter to say, I see the Zionist media outlets are on my back because I speak the truth. They killed my Lord Jesus. This is not a man who's showing any form of contrition at all. It's a man who thinks he can get away with what he said, presumably shortly before his big fight, in order to generate some publicity at the expense of the Jewish community.
I was going to say, I mean, you know, I can completely understand why you and others are offended, no doubt about that. But I just wonder, by complaining and keeping it going, doesn't that just serve to keep it in the limelight, keep the issue, keep his comments in the limelight?
It's hugely important that society sees anti-Semitism where it is, because it often goes unseen. And when we look at the crime statistics from last year released by police forces to campaign against anti-Semitism, when we put in freedom of information requests to all police forces in the UK, we found that crime has gone up around 25% against Jewish people and violent crime against Jewish people 50%. With the background of that and Jews being targeted and killed across Europe in Toulouse, Paris, Copenhagen and elsewhere, we can't take lightly any sort of anti-Semitism, least of all from a man in such a high-profile position who's a role model to many, has 429,000 followers on Facebook alone where he was spreading further anti-Semitism. It's our responsibility to spread this and make sure that people see just how abhorrent these views are. And it's the British Boxing Board of Control's job to show that they take it seriously and to punish him, or else we can't take seriously their apologies or his.
Jonathan, thank you very much indeed. Jonathan Sakadotti, who's spokesperson for the campaign against anti-Semitism. We did ask the British Boxing Board of Control to come on the programme. We asked Tyson Fury's representatives if they would like to speak to us as well. Neither got back to us. It's 18 minutes past 8 now.
This is 5 Live Breakfast.